Yeah, it's 4:45 instead of 4:44. I decided at the last minute that I was going to look up some words to a song that kept playing in my mind this morning, and I did it just before it was ready to go on, and I only wanted the lyrics. I didn't want the sound, and I couldn't shut the thing off. It wouldn't let me. So I ended up going past the starting time. I'm sorry about that. And I'm laughing about it. Although I really like to start at 4:44, as most of you that watch regularly realize. Although every once in a while I can tell who the new watchers are that when they make comments like, "Did you see he started at 4:44?" Like that's something unusual. It just means that that person hasn't watched very many times. Anyway, the title today is 2012. It's all about energy, the power of love. Things are changing in our world, whether or not we choose to see it. Yes, it looks as if the powers that used to be are still in control as they pass more obtrusive laws and make a lot of noise with their media circus. However, behind the scenes, big things are happening that will shift everything. Want to help? Allow your energy to shift to a loving attitude. That is the energy of transformation. It's the power of love. And in fact, the power of love is what's been playing in my mind this morning. And I went to flip on the lyrics to the song, thinking I was going to pull some stuff off of there. And I ended up having to shut down the whole browser. And it didn't shut down easily, believe me. It took time. But anyway, I'm not going to have those lyrics on the screen here that I can possibly refer to them. And I don't remember the words at all. I mean, I just remember the title, The Power of Love. You know, throughout each day, I get lots of emails and lots of links, and information comes in response to all the groups that I'm in, and I keep getting added. It seems like every week I'm added to two or three more groups. Whether I like it or not, they don't ask, do you want to be in this group? One of the groups is even the mushrooms something or other, and I don't like mushrooms. But I didn't quit the group, and I usually stay in them, and unless there's something that seems offensive to me, then I must admit, I don't even go to the group web page. Some of them I do, but I don't go to all of them. Um, anyway, I get lots of information is the point that I was trying to make. And one of the pieces of information that came to me a couple of days ago was one of my friends has a friend who is a retired military pilot and a retired pilot, and he actually flew Rockefeller to an underground bunker out west somewhere from the Big Apple, from New York City. And so he was pointing out that the elite are scurrying. Um, and there's other rumors of reports of that. There's all sorts of rumors about the financial industry making big shifts. There's a new monetary system. The Basel III compliance has to be in place. Most of the world is rejecting the Federal Reserve and the old worthless Federal Reserve dollars, which are still not completely worthless, but China holds the most dollars of any nation on earth, and it is in the driver's seat, not the U.S. and not the European Union, but China actually is in the driver's seat along with other Asian nations, and Brazil and other nations around the world are impacting the economic situation. Now, I'm not going to tell you that I have the answers. If you've listened to me for any length of time, you know that I don't have all the answers as to exactly what's happening. I am like most of you. I pay attention to the best of my ability to what I see happening into the world. I look at the rumors. I know some of them may be disinformation. But you know something? I've come to the place where it doesn't matter if it's disinformation or not. If you infuse that image, it may be something that they are trying to build up hope, like with the channeled messages, for example. They build a lot of hope, which is why I've been looking at them for several years running and posting them on my certain ones on my website, Mike Quincy's and John Smallman, who's been taking a vacation until the 1st of April, and messages from Matthew. And who's the other? Oh, Sheldon Neidel, who he's not actually channeled messages. He gets the information straight from the horse's mouth, as it were, from Assyrian contacts, from the not Syria as in Syria in the Middle East, but Syria as in Sirius, the star system. Anyway, they build excitement. They paint an image of possibility, even if it's a disinfo agent, even if it's something that is a plant to try to put people off track. You and I, as individuals, have within our ability the power to make the dream come true by focusing our loving attention on it. There is nothing more powerful in all the world than the power of love. I use fire because fire to me transforms. And I often, when I'm meditating and I'm looking at the fire, I will often say, let the fire, let the flame of transformation burn all of the dross and turn it into that which is pure, a heart of gold, as it were. I don't mean literal gold, but someone with a golden attitude, and make my hands pure and my heart clean. Purge the old and transform it. And that's what we have the ability to do, not just in our individual lives. We have to do it in our individual lives. If you don't do it there first, it's not going to be as effective in the world. But when you do that in your personal life, it makes big changes in the world because it adds to the energy of transformation that's happening in the whole world, and it speeds it up and it makes it easier for other people to move from the self-centered roles of greed and service to self. And it shifts the energy and makes the transition between the old and the new easier for more and more people. And as more and more people get on, the energy keeps building and building and building. And this is what's happening. I do it, in my community. I've been doing the community calendar since February 1998. I mean, that's just an arbitrary number because I was really doing it longer than that, but that's when it started to take on a higher level of energy as more and more people began to ask me to add their announcements to my email announcements for the two groups that I was involved in, and it grew and it grew and it grew till finally it had to become a web page because it's the energy of love. It's the power of recognizing the interconnectedness of all life, which is what love is. It's unity consciousness to me. It's recognizing that everything is part of a web of life, intricately and beautifully woven together by the master creator, who behind the scenes has always had a vision in mind. Now, some people say that God has no objective. God just sets everything loose and wants to see how it plays out. I read that from some sources that I generally would trust, but I don't believe that. I believe that God has an intention. I believe that my life has an intention, that everything has meaning to it. I believe that because love is cohesive and brings things together, and it makes sense out of things. It has the power to change chaos into a beautiful ordered system. And you say, that sounds like the Matrix, Ron. Well, it, let's face it, it is a matrix. It is a new world order that's coming. We're not going to stop that. Everything in creation behaves in a certain way, and it's always a matrix. What we have had in our experience as humans up until the current time that we're living in is we have had a matrix of greed, a matrix of corruption, a matrix of service to self, where service to self has been the primary thing, not service to others, not recognizing the interconnectedness, recognizing only that everything is separate. But it's not separate. That's an illusion and a lie. And there are people that still want to believe that and put their energy there. But I'm telling you, the power of love is greater. One person embracing the power of love is stronger than 10,000 people embracing service to self and the separation consciousness mode. And so I'm encouraging, as I have been doing for over a year now. What is it? Over a year and a quarter almost. Coming up in April, it'll be a year and a quarter that I've been doing. 15 months. We'll have been creating these videos. And I didn't know I was going to be doing it for 15 months when I started. I thought I was going to do it for 9 months, basically. But it's continuing on. And it will continue on as long as I'm able. Now that there's going to become a point where I'm going to have to hire somebody to do all of the community service that I'm doing. But that's an energy. You see, the community service, it's an energy of pointing out to people. This is why I do the community calendar for all these years. Because it's showing that we're interconnected. It's a demonstration of unity. Even though there are people maybe that are still in the competitive mode, I'm trying to point out a cooperative mode. And I don't want to exclude anybody from that. People that want to have their events listed, I list them. It's just as simple as that, because it's the energy of love. And that's what I've been trying to build consistently for a long period of time in my life. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Do I sometimes get rattled when things happen that seem unfair or whatever? Of course I do. I'm human. I'm human, and it's okay to be human. And that's the power of love too, to be able to embrace and accept myself where I am, whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm experiencing. I move to the place because I try my best to always maintain the guidance of the Holy Spirit. I do my best to move into the power of love, and I choose to listen to what Spirit is saying to me. And sometimes when I feel discouraged, Spirit is saying, but there's more happening than what you see. There are things going on behind the scenes that you have no way of knowing. And it's true. I have no way of knowing. I can feel, but until it's confirmed, I don't know it. I don't know things. Maybe some people do. I don't know things just because I feel them inside. I don't know things that way. I know things when they actually happen. That's the truth of the matter. I may have the seed planted and I feel it growing, but until it's manifest, it's not real to me. What's real is that I've had a feeling and I can feel the love, but until the actual thing longed for, the desired result, manifests, it's not completely real. I've learned that in my life. Maybe I'd like to get to a different level, but that's where I am. That's still where I am most of the time. But what I'm trying to encourage you is the same thing that Spirit is trying to encourage me. Keep giving it love. When we see Obama and the politicians and the bankers doing the things that they're doing, when we see that, as much as possible, I understand the pain that it inflicts on people. I understand that. But we have the power of love to transform it by embracing it. That's what I've been trying to get people to see. Embrace the paradox, embrace the apparent contradiction, integrate the opposites within yourself. Know that everything that's being represented in the world around you is part of you. It's not just them, it's not us against them, it's only us. And when you embrace it, that's embracing it with the power of love, and that transforms it. It brings the energy of critical mass to the tipping point where it has to change in the physical world and manifest so that it becomes our reality, it becomes the new world order, the new matrix, if you will. It works miracles because that's the way creation is. The web of life is an interconnected web, and interconnected means that there's unity, and that means there's love. Focus on the love, because it is all about energy, and there is power, tremendous power, unmovable power, unshakable power, as we move from self-centeredness into lovingness. Thank you for listening, and namaste.